We're here at the at Lane, Oklahoma, in Atoka County, at the West Watkins Agriculture Research and Extension Center, and we have today with us as a guest, Mr. Jeff Stearns from the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food and Forestry, and he works with the organic certification program at ODAF. So, Jeff, we're glad to have you here today.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so what we want to do here today is, this normally we'll come out to the field and discuss. You'll ask about what we've done to manage our organic location here, and I should emphasize that this has been certified organic, this area of the station, since I think 2005.
That is correct, yes.
So each year you come out and visit with us to review what we're doing and all, and it's a part of the process of getting the recertification. But we want to do something in addition today is kind of share with the general public what organic certification is all about, and why we do it, and why do we have foods in the grocery store that say certified organic. So would you mind just explaining briefly what organic certification is all about?
Okay. Well, being a certifying agency for the state of Oklahoma, we are accredited through the National Organic Program in Washington, D.C. So the people that we certify, if they're using organic practices and they meet the requirements, then we certify them as an organic crop producer, livestock producer, or a processor. Okay. We certify quite a few organic processors. They can be anything from coffee roasters to meat packers, jams and jellies, just any kind of processing like that.
Yeah.
But what we require is that you submit yearly your OSP, which will be your organic standards, your organic system plan on how you farm organically, and then we're required to come out once a year and do an organic inspection.
Okay.
We'll come out, we'll look at all the inputs you use, make sure they're approved. We'll check your seeds, make sure there's no treated seed, that you're using organic varieties when commercially available, and that you're just using organic farming practices.
Okay. So being a certified organic farm, that basically means to go through the organic certification process and then maintain that process by doing what? What is it differentiates an organic farm from a conventional or non-organic
Well,
farm?
the National Organic Program has rules in place that when you farm using organic practices and comply with those rules, then you're eligible to be certified organic.
Okay. Well, I guess we can get on with the inspection today.
Okay.
So whatever.
Okay. We might walk over and look at your fallow ground over here, and you can kind of tell us about what practices you use. And
we here on this organic section of the field of the research station, and it's probably about 1.5 acres now, and this has been used since the beginning of this being certified, mainly for vegetable production. And right now we have some high tunnels here that have a trial in them, looking at different varieties of kale and mustards and Swiss chards grown using certified organic practices. So, the purpose of that is to try to identify varieties, and we've had 15 varieties of kale, 15 varieties of mustard, but with the objectives to determine if there's any varieties that would be best suited to organic production. Maybe less attractive to some of the insect pests, diseases, what have you. So that's kind of some of the things we're doing here. Now, some of the land is, again, we just don't have the resources to have this all planted in crops all the time. So this section has been fallow for several years, and that's an important part of improving your soil in an organic farm. So using things like cover crops and what have you. So we also, you'll see that there's some small furrows in this field. These soils can erode, even though the slope is not real great here. These soils do have a tendency to erode badly. So by keeping those furrows there, that the excess moisture, and now that it's vegetated, you're not going to get much erosion either. But that channels, when there is a lot of rain, that channels that water down there and off the field without actually causing sheet erosion of layers of soil.
So, Jim, can you tell me about your practices on pest control with this organic kale?
Okay. and the pest control has been a really important part of this. And again, part of our objective with these trials is to identify which varieties of kale tend to be more susceptible to pests and which might be less attractive to the pests.
Okay.
So it's kind of a thing here. We've got to allow the pests to, we don't want to just start spraying as soon as we see an insect, because that way we wouldn't have a chance to compare them on the different varieties. So we need to allow the insect pests to begin to get established, and then we can look at each variety and see, are the pests on this one, how bad, how severe are on this one.
Okay.
But they do, for example, we've had a lot of harlequin bugs this spring. They just love crops in the cabbage family, and this one, and you can see one right there, a harlequin bug right there.
Oh yeah, two of them,
three on that one little leaf there. So
yeah.
so I've had to periodically do some spraying with some of the insecticides that are approved for certified organic farming, that are OMRI approved. So and the main one that I've been using there is it's called Pyganic, but it's a natural pyrethroid, and I believe that's comes from marigolds. Is that right? I don't remember. So it's a natural insecticide, and it's approved for. So
yes.
We've also had, you'll see in some of these other leaves where there's holes in leaves, that's primarily from caterpillars. So now for that we have some of the BT type insecticide, which is also approved for certified organic, that we can keep those under control.
I saw those on your application you submitted this year.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jeff, this is basically what we have in the field right now. And I've told you, I've showed you pretty much what we've had to do with the pest control and all. And again, all the products we use are things that are approved, OMRI approved for certified organic production. So what is, you might just share with the public, what'll be the next step now that if everything you see here is okay?
Okay. Well, Jim, usually we, like you know, we look at all the fields, the growing areas. We'll go back, we'll go through an 8-page inspection report. We'll look at all your fertility, your inputs, your pest control, record keeping, things like that. And then we submit that. I get it put together, submit it to the guy that is the director of the organic for the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture. He rereads everything and approves it and issues you a certificate.
Okay.
And we're required to do that on a yearly basis.
Okay. So.
And if anybody would like any more information on how to become organic, they can go to our website, Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food and Forestry.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate you taking time, in addition to coming out to do the inspection today, to take time to share with the public a little bit about what organic certification is all about. I think many people will be interested in hearing about that and understanding a little more about that process. So,
well, Jim,
thank you.
You're more than welcome.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.